Hey, what's up everybody? What's going on, Squid Gang? I'm back with another video. And since the announcement a few weeks back of Heihachi coming back as the third DLC character for Tekken 8, it really got me thinking, who is the last character and who's going to be the next round of characters for Season 2? And for those of you who don't know, in Tekken 7 had 15 DLC characters. 15 of them throughout the span of 4 different seasons. So I'm not going to put it past Namco to either do the same amount of characters, if not slightly less, but there's definitely going to be at least 4 or 5 more characters for Season 2, I can guarantee you that. So essentially for this list, I'm going to predict what the last character for DLC Pack 1 or Season 1 is going to be, and what the 4 characters for Season 2 are going to be. So it's going to be top 5 characters that need to come back for DLC Season 2. Coming in at number 5, I honestly wholeheartedly believe Michelle should come back. I know we had Julia in the last game, but why not bring back Michelle? It hasn't been fully fleshed out as to what happened to her. She's not dead. You know, she pretty much got replaced with Julia, and she was only a DLC in Tekken Tag 2 because everyone had to come back. But why not bring her back? You know, she could make an interesting take on her, akin to how Julia was. Technically, they were the same, but if you played them in Tekken Tag 1, they played the same but had distinct differences. Like their Party Crasher had different properties, and their Shotgun had different properties. So you mainly played Michelle for damage, and you played Julia for everything else because Julia just was better than Michelle, but they played in tandem together very, very well. Julia had a tag cancel when Michelle didn't. She had a back handspring, so that was technically bad in Tekken Tag 1, but still, she was still a very, very good character. And I don't know so much about her standing in the tier list in the games that she was in. The games she was in was Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, and Tekken Tag, and then Tekken Tag 2. So I'm not too sure on how good she was, but I guarantee you if you bring her back, she can be really freaking good. I don't see why they wouldn't bring her back, but honestly, they should show Michelle some love, because they're bringing back Heihachi. They've shown that they brought back Kunimitsu in Tekken 7. They brought back some classics. They brought back Zafina when people thought she was very, very forgettable as DLC, and now she's in the main roster for Tekken 8. So they should start bringing these people back. You know, there's people out there that love the Changs. People say they want to see JC come back, which JC could come back instead of just being Julia, but I prefer that they just bring back Michelle instead. And who's to say they wouldn't be happy or excited to bring back a character from the original 2 first games, or the original trilogy for a sense, which is be the Changs? I'm pretty sure people would be very, very happy about that. At least I would. I know there's a couple people that wanted Michelle to come back, but I'd be pretty happy about that. But for number 5, Michelle Chang should come back for DLC Season 2. For number 4, I know a lot of people were upset in Tekken 7 when they found out that Josie was replacing Bruce, and then we ended up getting Falcon, which everyone's like, oh, a legendary Muay Thai character. But remember when Falcon first dropped, he was a nightmare. He was a hard nightmare to deal with. But people forget who was also a nightmare to deal with in Tekken Tag 2, and that is Bruce. For number 4, Bruce should definitely come back. It's been a minute since he's been in any sort of game. He was in Tekken 6, he was in Tekken Tag 2. People say he was boring to play, but he had all the tools. He had so many good tools. He was such a great character, but people were upset that he had to play him pretty much one way, and people thought it was boring. But Bruce was so good, and most games that he was in, Bruce was always good. Tekken Tag 1, Bruce was really freaking good. I'm pretty sure in Tekken 6 he was really good too. I don't know too much about Tekken 5, how good he was or if he was good at all. I'm not too sure, but I know Tekken Tag 1, Tekken 2, and then Tekken Tag 2 he was super good. Tekken 2 he was really good as well, and then Tekken 6 I'm pretty sure he was still really good. But they need to bring Bruce back as well. Like, Josie was nice. I liked playing as Josie. Josie was one of my favorite characters in Tekken 7. But they need to bring back more legacy characters for this DLC if they're going to bring back Heihachi, and people would love to see them come back. They brought back Lei, they brought back Anna, they brought back Armor King, they brought back Julia, all these legacy characters people missed. They brought back Ganryu. People don't even care too much about Ganryu. The last time Ganryu was good in the game was Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, when he was really good. You know, and they brought back Ganryu and he was good at Tekken 7. He was actually good. So they're bringing back legacy characters. I'm pretty sure everyone has asked and prayed for Bruce to come back, and I think Bruce should come back because it's the legacy characters. I just feel like they need to come back. I feel like they do, and it'd be a nice interaction because, as you see, there's a story expansion, and Bruce used to be a bodyguard for Kazuya. And that'll be a neat interaction because we see what the story is like. It's going to be revolving more so around Lydia, Eddie, Jin, and what's going on with the conflict with Heihachi, clearly, and Reina, because she knows she's the new devil form or the new antagonist. And at the end, you saw there was Kazuya, when he loses the Jin, you see Jun show up and is going to try to purify him or something of that sort. We can only speculate, but it'll be interesting to see how they interact with each other if he's in the game. Just like they did in Tekken 5 with their prelude, when you have to fight, when you play as Bruce, you have to fight Kazuya. He's like his rival battle because everyone had one in that game. But for number 4, Black Man Bruce should come back, and it'll be a welcome addition for him to come back, whether as the last character or the first character in season 2. Either way, number 4, Bruce Irvin. Coming in at number 3. Now this one might be a little bit of a controversial take in my humble opinion, but hear me out on this one. So for Tekken 8, we have Jin and Devil Jin. We have Kazuya, and we have Kazuya with his devil form. We have Reina, and clearly we have Reina who's going to have her devil form. So hear me out on this one. Number 3 should bring back Unknown. Now I know what you're thinking. Clone character syndrome, clone character alert. Do not do that. Hey, hear me out on this one. Think about it. If they can rebrand a lot of these characters, like we all thought Reina was going to be the complete replacement for Heihachi, but they supposed to play similar, but she has her own tools that are similar to Heihachi, but she has her own identity that makes her different. Yeah, she has an electric, she has her own little hell sweep, but she's got the Sentai stance, and she's got, you know, Heaven's Wrath. She's got other stuff that separates her from her father. You can do the same thing with Unknown. Given in Tekken Tag 2, she was pretty much a clone with just some, you know, demonic powers and extra stuff, which made her a little bit different. But like, you can expound upon that in this game now, because with Jun's stances, she loses health and she uses light abilities and other things. You can expound upon that and make her darkness or her devil abilities. And no, it's not canon. She's definitely not a canon character, but you can bring her into the game and reimagine her in so many different ways. And imagine the personal interactions that Jin would have with Unknown, Kazuya and stuff, or with Jun and Unknown together. You know, just like you see Jin and Devil Jin when they have their interactions, special interactions together. That would be awesome. There's so much things you can do with bringing her back, because she's only ever been in 2 games, and that's the Tag Series games. She was the boss in both games. In Tekken Tag 1, she was just Mokujin clone that you can just switch between random fighting styles at the click of a button, which I thought was dope, by the way. And it also, you can expound upon, like, you can use her wolf spirit stuff. Like, that can be her gimmick for her as a character, like how Jun is with the light and the genjutsu stance and other stuff. Like, that's her gimmick, is like the light and the crows. You can do the same thing, but with her wolf spirits, just like in Tekken Tag 2, and just make it a lot better. You know, you can flesh it out and do a lot of things with Unknown, and I feel like they dropped the ball with her in some ways, and I get it. She's a boss character for a non-canon Tekken game, but there's so much there. There's so much to untap there, to see Jun with the Devil Jin logo on her right arm and stuff. That's cool, and it's amazing to think about the possibilities of what she could have been if she was an actual character in the story. Like if there was a dark side to the Kazama blood or something like that. That's a whole nother story for another day. But definitely, I'll be very excited if she became a wild card appearance for the last character for season 1, or for one of the characters in season 2. I think that'd be awesome. So for number 3, I think Unknown should be back. Coming in at number 2, and again, I need y'all to hear me out. Dude, put your pitchforks down, put the torches down. I need y'all to hear me out for this one, okay? Listen. So for those of you who have beaten the story, sorry, spoilers, like I said before, we see Reina has a devil form. We all know that she is Heihachi's daughter. So Heihachi has 3 kids, being Kazuya, Lars, and Reina. So we don't know who Reina's mother is. We can assume that her mother is Kazumi because she has the devil gene. Now I know that there's theories going around saying that when she took the devil beam from Kazuya in his true devil form, that it infected her and she became, the devil. She got the devil gene. But I don't see how that makes much sense. I mean, going based off of the past games, Jin was infected with the devil gene, but he already had the devil gene within him because his father is Kazuya, and Kazuya has devil gene due to his mother. So I rule out that theory, in my opinion, that she received the devil gene based off of taking the attack from Kazuya. Because if that were the case, everyone who's ever been attacked with the devil beam from Kazuya, whether he had Azazel's power or not, would have the devil gene. So I highly doubt that. My theory is that because we're going through flashbacks, that Kazumi is Reina's mother. And for number 2, Kazumi Mishima should come back. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that's my main in Tekken 7. And people are all like, oh, you're just subbing it out. But no, seriously, think about it. If Heihachi's coming back and he's going to be an integral part of the story, they can put some exposition on who her mother is or who Reina's origins, where her origins are. And then it won't be far-fetched to say that, yeah, when Heihachi thought Kazumi was dead, she didn't die, similar to how Jinpachi didn't die. Evil spirit possessed him and he was still alive for Tekken 5, so something similar could happen, or she wasn't even dead, or it can be another member of the Hachijo clan, mainly, that can be her mother. But honestly, in my humble opinion, I believe it's Kazumi, and I believe Kazumi has a lot of leeway to come back. She was a fan favorite competitively. People like the character. People like the fact that Kazuya's mom was a character in the game and was playable, was really good in every season competitively. And in the story, the fact that she was the mother, she was the start of the devil gene, she's the one who started all this, and which you would have guessed. And she was the boss character. She don't gotta be Devil Kazumi. She can have that as her little install or whatever. Like when she goes into heat, she becomes Devil Kazumi, just like Kazuya. She can have that. But you can bring Kazumi back and bring Kazumi back and redesign her in so many different ways. It'd be amazing. But it's mostly, I want her to come back due to the story. If she's not playable, I'll be upset, but I want her to come back. But it's more or less that for the story, I figure she will fit in perfectly with the story because, again, we don't know who's Reina's mother. And I have a strong belief that Kazumi is her mother. And I know I just want to ramble about this, but for real, I really just want Kazumi to come back into the game. I just really want her to come back as my favorite character in Tekken 7. But there's plausible evidence why she should come back. It's not just me saying it because I want her to come back, but there's so much things there that you can add. Just like with Unknown, there's so much you can do. With all these characters bringing back, you can reimagine them in so many different ways. So many ways. The sky is the limit. Actually, it's limitless. You can almost do anything with these characters at this point. But for number 2, Kazumi Mishima come back. Please, Harada, I'm begging. And coming in at the number 1 spot, I mean, you guys probably knew this was straight up obvious. It's Ogre. Ogre deserves a spot, a shoe-in spot for this last character slot, or just in the game in general. He is a shoe-in. It has been a long time, 10 plus years since he's been in the game? The last time he's been in the game was in Tekken Tag 2. He's only ever been in 3 games if you don't count Tekken Cross Street Fighter, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. If you don't count that, he's only been in Tekken 3, Tekken Tag, and Tekken Tag 2. He's only been in those 3 games. And with the game, with Tekken 8 in the story, they made a full render, a full model render of Ancient Ogre, or not, fuck Ancient Ogre, Ogre, in game for the cinematics. There is no way in hell that they made that simply just for a 2-second B-roll flashback of Ogre is the reason why Jun was dead, presumably. There's no way they went out of the way to make that render of Ogre and him not being the game. There's no way. The hint of the Sanctum and that the Kazama bloodline was always taught about this lullaby to ward off Ogre from centuries ago in the story mode. There's no way they could bring that, like, that anti-Ogre sigil in the Sanctum when Jun talks about it. Like, dude, there is no way. There's no way Ogre is not going to be in this game. He is a shoo-in. And if he is not in this game, there's going to be a boycott. People are going to burn things to the ground. And, like, for this game, like, we all know that he is the Aztec god of fighting. He's an alien. He has a hodgepodge of characters, good moves, and his different properties to them. So now, just like the past games, you just add more moves to him from newer fighters now that he's here and reimagine him a little bit. Like his heat, I highly doubt that they'll make him when he goes into heat, he becomes true Ogre. I don't think they're going to go that route of make him transform when he goes into heat and then de-transform. I mean, they could do something cool with that, but then he can go into like a different mode or something, like the Aztec god of fighting mode, or he gains access to more of his powers in heat because he has telekinesis, he can fly, he has other, like, he can absorb people. Like, what if that's his thing when he's in heat? He can absorb this, similar to like Yoshimitsu in Tekken 4 Flash, you can steal people's moves with it. It was the Soul Stealer. He would steal a move, if he'll parry a move and he would steal it and he would be able to use it. Rather if it's Marduk's Valetudo stance or Zhao Yu's AOP or giving him an electric or a hell sweep, Yoshimitsu can do that. Give that to Ogre in that game because he has other characters' moves. He can use them. Let that be a move exclusively to him where he only has it where he's in heat. He can pocket somebody's move like an install, or he can do it like once around or so, or that's his thing. Like if he parries, he can steal a move. He can have that. That would be super dope to give to him, you know, and then give him some of True Ogre's moves, like some things, you know, like his snake arm thing, like he can do that. Like there's other, like his full forward 2, I think it's full forward 2 or it's forward 2, like others, like there's so many things you can do with Ogre. And I know there's no script with this, so I'm just going on, but this is off the top of my head. But there's so much they can do with Ogre. And these are just a couple ideas I could think of. Now, if I sat here and brainstormed and really thought about it, there's so much more they can bring to him. Even if they want to add Ogre and True Ogre, I mean, I highly doubt they would do that. But like, Ancient Ogre is the one we really want. Green Man, Green Ogre Man, you know, Red Eyes, you know, Alien Man, floating around, not saying a word, mute. And look how awesome it would be for the intro dialogue between him and Jin. That would be amazing. And then when Heihachi comes out, them too. Because Heihachi wanted to steal Ogre's blood. Do you forget that from Tekken 3? He wanted to use Ogre's blood to mix his blood with his genetic genome to create a new life form, but he couldn't because he lacked the devil gene. You know, that's a part of the lore. Ogre is a shoo-in for the last character that comes out in season 1, and if not, I'll be shocked. But I guarantee you he's going to be in this game. There's no way they're not putting Ogre in this game. There's no way they did all that for him to just not be in this game. So for number 1, the number 1 spot, the number 1 character that should come back in Tekken 8 for season 1 and season 2 is most definitely Ogre and True Ogre. But that's gonna be it for this video. I'm sorry for the little bit of delay in uploads and commentary, fighting game commentary videos. I've been busy as of late and no other stuff, but I got more stuff coming out for you guys. Don't worry, I have another commentary video coming up for you guys. I got more ranked runs and I have more tutorials I'm coming up with, but I want to put more time in editing them instead of just putting out quick and fast and easy stuff. I really want to put more production and time into things that I edit so that you guys can enjoy it a lot more. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving me. My watch time hours are super high. We're at 533 subs right now, I believe. I think I might have lost a sub or something like that. Either way, I support all the love and support you guys have been giving me. The grind don't stop. I love you all. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.